little bit, man. So
Because he's starting, allegedly.
Cleveland Browns, former quarterback.
He doesn't claim it. He doesn't claim it anymore.
He was waived from the Carolina Panthers. Was it yesterday? A couple of days ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Picked up yesterday. And he's going to be playing for the LA Rams. And it seems like I think he's going to start. He actually might start this Sunday. So, what do you guys think about Baker Mayfield getting another chance?
Hey, before you take the floor, John, I'm gonna say a couple of things, a quick couple of things, and that's
Please.
it. Baker on the Rams, he got so lucky that Matthew Stafford went out. He's so lucky that he was able to get on another team because he doesn't deserve it. He started off on the Browns, and the organization that has picked him, he's picked them apart. He's thrown them under the bridge. He's thrown them in the fire. And in the beginning of the season, he left the Browns. He wanted to lead the Browns. Now, in the middle of the season, he wants to lead the Panthers. The Panthers didn't want to give him up. He wanted that. He wanted to get waved off. And
I didn't know that.
yeah, Baker's the reason why he's on the Rams right now. And I don't understand why he gets another chance to start. He hasn't proved nothing this year. He's looked terrible. Now he's going to a Rams offense that is already banged up. No Allen Robinson, no Cooper Kupp. You're putting yourself in another fire. And I think after this year, he's gonna burn another bridge. And maybe he might be out the league, but he's definitely not a starter by next year. He's definitely gonna be a bench player if he's not out the league. That's my take on this. Go ahead, John.
I'm not so sure. See, I'm going to respectfully disagree, bro.
Okay.
You know, Baker Mayfield, and I'm not saying he's good, he's great, but he's not bad. All right, Baker Mayfield is not a bad quarterback. You know what I'm saying? You can blame his first 2-3 years that he had a different coach every year, and he played for the Browns, and he played for the Panthers. Now, hey, it has been said that he was intrigued with Baker Mayfield coming out of college. All right, and there are rumors that Matthew Stafford is looking to retire. The man's getting old now. You know what I'm saying? So this could be another opportunity for Baker Mayfield to do what he needs to do. We got a better coach, better system. We got Cooper Kupp. You know what I'm saying? Now this is only if Matthew Stafford was to retire. I'm pretty sure they would keep Baker Mayfield. You know what I'm saying? Unless they get one of these young quarterbacks that's gonna come out this year, C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young or Caleb Williams. You don't think none of them?
With what pick?
Yeah. If the Rams,
oh yeah,
Rams remember they were FM picks.
FM picks. Yeah, you're right. Oh yeah, Lions are gonna look good. Lions are gonna look really good.
Lions and the Seahawks are going to look incredible.
Seahawks too. Yeah, hey, they on the way up.
That's a good take you bring up, Kari. Matthew Stafford might be retiring. I don't think he will be, but if he does, the Rams still need a quarterback. Baker is not that guy. Kari, I thought this too. John's been telling me Baker's not good. Baker's this and that, and I said, he's going to the Panthers. He's going to play okay. I don't think he's bad. I think he's okay.
He's not bad. Let him play on a good team.
He was on a good team. He was on the Browns, and he was terrible last year. He was terrible with the Browns.
Oh, don't get me started, Kari. I know where you go. Say it. Say the injury.
And in the Panthers, and
the year before that, you want to talk about the past.
Let's be real.
He took the Browns to the playoffs.
True.
I'm trying to hold my tongue. He did not take the Browns to the playoffs. That Browns team was loaded. It was the number one offensive line. Had one of the greatest pass rushing seasons.
Exactly.
Nick Chubb was killing people.
Put him around some talent, and he won't be terrible.
No, he has to have all the talent. Okay, I'm not gonna. No, go ahead, Tony. Go ahead and finish up because where y'all want to go with Baker? I've watched him for 4 years.
Baker has to be in the perfect situation to be good, and the Rams is not the perfect situation for him right now. What he's gonna do on the Rams is nothing. They don't got nothing over there for him right now. They got Baker
right now.
In the future. I don't like that should not be your future QB. That is not a franchise guy. He's not a locker room guy. Nobody likes him. Roby Anderson at the beginning of the season was going to retire because he did not want to play with Baker Mayfield. There's something about him that these dudes do not like.
Steve Smith?
As you can see, he burns bridges with all his organizations. Players don't like him. He's just not a franchise guy. I'm gonna let you take the floor now, John. Go ahead.
Okay, I've got notes on Baker. I've had notes on Baker forever. Tony, you've heard me talk about this dude legitimately at the beginning of last season. I was saying if we can keep Baker under 20 passes a game, we can win.
Because he was injured, right?
No, this is like coming off of 2020. Everybody thought they were great. I was like, yeah, if we can keep him under 20 passes, what franchise quarterback are you going? If we can keep him under 20 passes, he'll be okay.
Dak Prescott. Yeah.
Okay, first off.
We play better when we run more than pass.
All right. Let's get into all these questions. The lies that everybody tells themselves about Baker Mayfield. That 2020 fabled season that he won the playoffs. No. We beat a busted Pittsburgh Steelers team who was trash. We went 11-0 and faded out 6 in a row losses.
Yeah.
We went up 21-0 on them in that game. First quarter. First play snapped over old boy's head. We scored a touchdown. Baker didn't win any of those games. Baker made a couple of hot throws. Baker has never not been surrounded by talent on the Browns. Baker's first year was Odell's first year. They traded for him that first year. Jabril Peppers came in a year before. He was part of the trade to get him. Now let's talk about the mechanics of Baker. Since the beginning of that hard knock season when Hugh Jackson got fired, there's a very famous scene where Hugh Jackson went up to him and was like, look, Six, you got to be the first dude in there. Last guy out. You got to be the hardest working guy here. You're supposed to be the franchise. And he blew it off. The talk about Baker is he does not study. He doesn't care. He thinks his talent can win out. Arguably, he's got a cannon for an arm.
Yeah.
He makes bad decisions. He can't see the field. He doesn't know how coverages work. Mainly because he thinks he can throw it at anything, and no, he can't. He is not an accurate passer. His fabled season that Kevin Stefanski got him, he was, 60% pass completion? Only had 20-something touchdowns? He had more yards passing the year before under Freddie Kitchens. But we won more games because the defense played better.
And also, y'all running backs are really good.
Yeah, it's not Baker. Baker's always been coddled because they love to coddle. Skip Bayless literally was crying this morning on television talking about they just won't give him a chance. I'm like, all right, you show up at Oklahoma, no invite. You tried to screw the system by not having to have a redshirt year for a transfer. Instead of just taking the shirt, you fought it, still had to take the shirt. Because you ran from Texas Tech because you and the coach didn't get along. Why? Because he was trying to tell you your mechanics are crap, your footwork's trash, you need to study. So he goes to Oklahoma, where everybody's the world's greatest passer in Oklahoma. That's why Jalen Hurts went there to prove he could pass. And Jalen Hurts' numbers were good.
Indeed.
Now, the problem with Baker, and I'm saying, and you can remember this, Tony, I said he's going to be out of the league within 2 seasons.
You did tell me that.
I think 100% he'll be on the SEC network by the beginning of next year. I didn't think he'd be on his third team this quick. He's going to flame out at the Rams because he's not good. He's going to get exposed on primetime television. He can get hot and throw a couple of good touchdowns. He can. But so could Fitzmagic. But Fitzmagic is on the NFL Network right now. But he isn't half the quarterback that Fitzmagic is.
Well, so Fitzmagic's been in the league for some years.
Yeah. But Fitzmagic could never start. He start, then they're like, yeah, we can't live with those picks, dude. We can't have you throwing us out of games. Baker Mayfield, his ego will never allow him to be a backup. He thinks he's him. He's wrong. Yeah, you got a cannon for an arm, but you run like a 4.91. You're 6 foot tall. Your mechanics are horrible. You can pick any play when he throws a bomb or a crossing route. Well, he doesn't throw a check down, so you can't look at that. For a 6'1" guy, as a passer, your job, top of your drop, hit your back foot, shift weight forward, throw. He spreads his legs, torques his body to get power, which is actually making him shorter. Plus, his release point is right around eye level, which for a 6 foot quarterback, eye level, and you've squatted, is like what, 5'10", 5'9"? That's why Kyler Murray works. If you see how he throws, he doesn't do that leg spread thing. He throws at a higher release point. He's a better quarterback, even though, that Call of Duty thing, man. That might be a problem. That might be a problem. But Baker Mayfield will whine and complain and say it's everybody else. Funny, everybody said that Odell was washed in Cleveland. What did he do when he got to L.A.?
Yeah, he had a very remarkable season.
Yeah. And you had 2 of the best wide receivers who could just create for him, and he didn't want to throw the passes to him.
That is facts. I mean, yeah, Baker, over these past couple years, there's a lot of controversy over his name. I mean, starting with the Odell stuff and his dad showing numerous of films of him missing Odell, not making the right reads. It's just been craziness. I just don't think.
Not to cut you off, but that film illustrated to me a worse point. Odell was open, but so was like 2 other guys. That he would choose the one deep route that was covered every time. And all those footages, you can see every clip. Odell was open, and the underneath was open.
Yeah.
And Baker would try the more difficult deep route because he's Baker Mayfield.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, these top picks in the drafts that are quarterbacks, a lot of them don't work out. And I think Baker, he did have a good year with the Browns in the 2020. I think he was just surrounded by a very stacked team, great defense.
Wonderful system.
Wonderful system and a great run offense that allowed him to not have to pass so much. And since then, it's been all downhill for Baker. I don't think this Rams pickup is longevity for them. I think they're trying to test something out because they have nothing else. But I don't think it's gonna last for Baker.
To be honest, I think it's about them trying to recoup picks.
Mm.
Because if he gets released at the end of the year, somebody pick him up, they get a compensatory pick, and they can start to try to build some of these picks back.
That's smart.
Yeah,
That's very smart.
And I didn't do any of my notes. This is just off the cuff about how much nonsense about this dude that I had to hear for 4 years.
Yeah, you had to get that off your chest.
I think it's about Baker Mayfield. I just hope he has a. My fault. I just hope he do all right, man. I feel like a lot of people's been. I mean, he's a grown man, so I wouldn't say hard on him, but
He's 27.
like I said, he's a grown man. But I understand. I just feel like he's not a terrible quarterback, like y'all saying. So,
Okay, hold up. Here's one stat for you. Since 2006.
you can share all the stats. I'm gonna have the same opinion.
Okay, since 2006, currently Baker Mayfield has the second worst QBR since 2006.
Yes, bro.
Jamarcus Russell is the worst. The 0-16 quarterback of the Browns had a better QBR.
Yeah, and you can say what you want about the Panthers not having weapons at the beginning of the year. They had CMC, Roby Anderson, and DJ Moore. And Baker Mayfield had the worst QBR since 2006, and he was the worst quarterback in the league. He was. It's facts. On the Panthers, he was the worst quarterback with these weapons. So, and yeah, man, it's just
And how did Sam Darnold do with those weapons?
playing okay, but I don't want to get into Sam Darnold.
Hey, it was still better than Baker. That's all I can say. It was better than Baker.
It was better than Baker. People have been hard on him, but Jakari is for a reason. It is plain and simple. He's bad locker room guy. He's not a good quarterback at all. He makes bad decisions on the field, and he's not that good of a QB. He's good enough to be in the NFL as a bench player. But his ego.
Listen to all the things you just said. You just said he's good enough to be in the NFL, but you just said he sucks as a quarterback.
As a bench player, I said he's good enough to be in the NFL as a bench player, but his ego won't allow him to be a bench player. I think he is good enough to be in the NFL, but a lot of quarterbacks are, but they're on the bench. I don't think he's a starter quarterback. I don't think he should be.
We'll see. I mean, he ain't my quarterback, so I mean,
he might be. You know, there's only two people talking about him before the draft. Jerry and the Browns old GM. Why that GM got fired?
I mean, Jerry was talking about him because Baker Mayfield was going to make him a lot of money. That's what he was talking about. Jerry was talking about Johnny Manziel too.
Oh yeah, you can have both of them.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, they was going to make Jerry a lot of money. That's why Jerry was thinking about that. He was thinking about the money.
I can promise you the PR machine at Dallas will get behind Baker in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah. If he was the Dallas Cowboys quarterback, like he was the draft him, we didn't have that. Like he'd be the golden child.
Oh, he would have flamed out quicker. He would have flamed out quicker in Dallas.
I wouldn't say that.
Ooh, the scrutiny in Dallas is far worse than Cleveland.
No, it is. I'm saying I wouldn't say that. I mean,
have you seen his press conferences? Oh my god! Oh my god!
I've seen it. I was saying I wouldn't say that. I think he had a better career so far if he just started with the Cowboys. Being real, our offensive line was good a couple of years ago.
The Browns have had the best offensive line in football for like the last 3 years.
Exactly. We had Amari. Zeke was going crazy. Like he would have had a better year, a better career.
Would have had better weapons around him for sure. Yeah. But who knows? Woulda, shoulda, coulda. Let's leave this Baker stuff in the past. We talked enough about him
15 minutes ago, man.
Y'all brought it up. I told you I was going to do a separate one just on Baker, but you had to bring it to me.
John had to get it off his chest, and I understand respectfully. So, speaking of Baker, the Rams are playing the Raiders this Thursday. Should we go ahead and get into these Week 13 predictions?